Dear friends, before I go on talking about disease and all, I want to take a break and explain what bacteria are, okay? Different from viruses. Like viruses, bacteria also have their origin in our body, okay? And they're part of us. Like I said, we are viruses, part of our, half the cell is a virus, and we are also bacteria, because they are part of our human structure. A virus, like I said, is 10,000 times smaller than the human cell. Now, a bacteria is 10 times smaller than the cell, so it's bigger than a virus. And even a bacteria can catch a virus, just like a human being can catch a virus. Well, that's pretty funny, interesting there, Bacteria that get sick. And now, viruses are proteins, are acids with a protein covering and coating. And they need to, for them to live, they need to catch onto a host cell where they reproduce and all that. Because outside of it, they die and they can't live. But bacteria are microorganisms, okay, that have their own system instruction that can reproduce themselves. Right? They don't need the cell to reproduce. So, because they're part of us, bacteria represent 3% of our human body. Okay, and there's over 10,000 species within us. Even 1,000 species within our intestine. And what's the object of a bacteria? Why did God create bacteria? Okay. What they do is they break down and eat dead or sick cells. So they help to substitute old wasted cells and produce new ones for us. Okay. They take away toxins and poisonous things within us, and in this way they renew our cell. Now, they're not animals, they're not plants, but they belong to a third kind of a kingdom, which we call Monera. All right? Different from these other things. And like viruses, too, they do not eat or attack healthy cells. So if you have your blood clean, below the toleration level and all that, you don't have to worry about bacteria. They're not going to do anything to you. Okay? You'll be healthy. So, even in nature, bacteria helps to produce 150 billion kilos of oxygen every year. If we breathe oxygen, it's thanks to the bacteria, okay, that do that. Now, they also help to form a protein in our cell. They help us to survive. Without bacteria in us, we would die. Actually, bacteria is what gives us life, okay, because it's it provides for our cells to be renewed and to go on. So we would not be able to live without a bacteria. They help us to absorb nutrients and digest our food because we don't have enough enzymes for that. Bacteria does that for us. Help us break down these proteins, fats, and carbohydrates into nutrients. Okay, and they also help us to produce vitamins, and they help to produce anti-inflammatories. Okay, so you see, well, how much good the bacteria does for us. They actually fortify our immune system. A pregnant woman, when she gives life, when her child is born, what happens is they take that child out of the womb. That child drags along itself a whole bunch of bacteria. Okay. And here's an interesting thing. Here's how God does things so well and so wonderful. When a woman becomes pregnant, her bacteria change. They become milder bacteria, okay? So that the child can get the right kind of bacteria for its own immunological system and, functioning and everything else. So that's very interesting. So as the child comes through the vagina, coming out, it drags along good bacteria for its own immunological system, for its own systems. So, now, the last thing I wanted to say about bacteria is that, like viruses, according to the environment that they're in, or the toxins or whatever, they can change into dangerous bacteria. You know, everybody remembers that story in the movie about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So when Dr. Jekyll was a nice guy, he took that formula, he turned into Mr. Hyde, but it's the same person. You see. What made him change was that formula that he took. So it's the same thing with bacteria. If there's too much toxin beyond the toleration level, then these bacteria, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, turn into dangerous bacteria. But like in the same story, when Mr. Hyde, the effect goes away, he turns back into Dr. Jekyll. So the same thing with the bacteria. When you take away the toxins and the poisons and all that, it gets back into a friendly bacteria that starts helping you again. It's all amazing stuff, but it's, this is the wonderful science of natural pathology of Dr. Beauchamp.